everybody, Cody here. We are still at the New Jersey Horror Con. This time, I'm with Chris Guttadaro. How are you?
Good, how's it going, man?
Not too bad, man. So we've met a lot of celebrities here, talked to a lot of people. We just like getting the story of how you guys became into acting and all that stuff. So when did you get bit by the acting bug?
I got bit by the acting bug in the end of 2012. I took Intro to Acting as an elective just to kill credits, and I loved it.
So just taking that, did you know acting is something you wanted to do, or were there other aspirations besides wanting to act?
Well, I was always a big fan of horror. My first horror movie I saw was Child's Play. I think I was like 3 years old. Back in the day, you only had like at least I did, only one major cable TV. There was no streaming or anything. My father used to watch horror movies, and I used to like to watch TV with him. I went and sat with him to watch Child's Play. He said, "I'm watching a scary movie. I'm not going to change the channel."
Yeah.
And I had nightmares, and still had nightmares for a little bit from watching horror movies, but I got over it, and just since I was like 4, maybe 5 years old, I've been watching horror. One of my favorite genres. So I always had the love for horror, and then when I took the Intro to Acting class, that got me into the acting bug.
That's cool. So right out of your Intro to Acting class, you said that was in 2012?
Yeah, it was about 2012.
What was your first project after that you did work for?
I was an extra. The first acting project, I was an extra on a film called Between Us. Okay. I think it was with I was like one of the extras right next to Julia Stiles.
Oh,
Then I did Men in Black 3. I was an extra on that movie back then.
That's cool.
They dressed me up in 70s attire or 660s, whatever the flashback scene was.
Yeah.
But I was a pedestrian in New York City. And yeah, those are like my first couple of gigs that I always remember.
That's really cool. I forget which Men in Black it was, but I love the one with Johnny Knoxville.
That was the second one.
Yeah, that was the second one. I saw that before the first one, and I was like, well, I got to see how this all started.
Yeah.
With you being a fan of horror, how did you get involved with the Fuzz on the Lens guys?
So I did a little bit of stunt work for Abnormal Attraction.
Okay.
We got introduced through a mutual friend, and then in the I'm a fireman. In the academy, they do it military style. Out of like 300 guys, they divide you up into squads. I was in the same squad as Jason's brother. Actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Jason's twin brother.
Yeah.
Jason's twin brother. And then I saw that they were looking for potential people to work with for Stream. So I reached out to Mike, and he told me the plot about Stream, and what drew me to Stream was that although it was a very unique idea and very creative. I felt like it was a plot that was unheard of.
Right.
So that's what, and I like when it comes to horror and the modern times that we live in, it's so hard to come up with something that's like unique or new rather. And that was like one of the closest things I've read to it.
Yeah.
So I loved it. I loved the script itself.
And for everybody that isn't familiar with the movie, it was filmed at a hotel in Gettysburg during the pandemic, correct?
That is correct.
So what were some of the struggles of filming during that whole time?
I guess one of the biggest struggles would just kind of, I would say it was more so being able to interact with people when you weren't shooting.
Right.
Because, you're at this hotel, you're with these people that you're becoming good friends with. And now, like, because it's a pandemic, you kind of have to go back in your room. You couldn't really hang out, although we did a little bit, as much as you had wanted to.
Right.
Because some people, because you had rules you had to follow because of COVID. So that kind of was probably the one negative to it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Gotcha. So with that being said, I noticed that you were also in a cameo in Blue Bloods.
Yeah.
My wife's favorite police show of all time. How was that managed too? Because that was a big show and still is to this day.
I was in episode 904. Patrol Post 2, South Orchard Street. That was my line. I was with Robert Clohessy, who plays Lieutenant Sid Gormley. I love that show. Speaking of Stream, walking through the camera.
Through the camera, Mike Levy. This man.
Hate that guy.
He's got two episodes.
I'm gonna trip him when he comes back.
Yeah, make sure you get that too.
Get that on camera. No, but Blue Bloods was one of my favorite shows. That and The Walking Dead were like the TV shows I watched all the time back when they were out. But Blue Bloods, it was a quick scene, so I was like in and out. But it was shot in a studio, but it was just kind of like corporate, basically.
Yeah.
You're in, you're out. But it was a great set, great people. Yeah. But like I said, I had one scene, so I said I was in and out. I wasn't there for weeks at a time like I was with Stream. So two different worlds, basically.
I feel like with that though, it's still cool to see your name on something as big as Roblox.
Absolutely.
So that for me would be an honor too.
Yeah.
You watch that stuff growing up, and you're like, man, one day, I hope to get there, stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And with all the other stuff going on here, do you have anything coming up that you want to plug, talk about?
Yeah. So I wrote my own movie, Dead Man's Creek. Also co-directing it. I'm going to be one of the leads in it as well. We're filming that fall of 2026. Aim is to release it fall 2027, around Halloween time.
Okay.
Having custom wardrobe, custom mask made for it. Dead Man's Creek franchise is the Instagram page if anybody wants to follow. I also have project called Don't Move coming out. I'm one of the producers on it. It's written by Murr from Impractical Jokers.
Oh, no way.
I'm a part of that. Yeah, it's about his book called Don't Move. I was also just in a project, Lost Media. It's alongside Tom Arnold. Sean Phillips is the director. That should hopefully come out next year. I just shot that last month. And then I'm helping produce Stream 2.
Yeah, we're super hyped for that. So.
I'm super hyped for that too.
Yeah.
Big announcement coming soon for that as well.
Awesome. Can't wait for that. Well, thank you so much for your time, dude.
I appreciate you guys,
Keep in touch for
man.
sure.
Thank
Check
you guys for having me.
coming out. We'll see you then.